All right.
Are we back? All right. Do me a favor though. Will you pull up yeah, because when you pulled away last time, see all that right there? We couldn't see all that right there. It wasn't showing. It wasn't showing up. All right. Well, we're back. We're we'll wait for everybody to join back in with us. There we go. We got somebody back. So we last left off. We were talking about fasting. And Mr. Producer, I got a delay in my ear.
I have a little echo.
There we go. It was like it was a 5-second delay. So we were talking about fasting, and we were talking about different why the good and the bad of fasting. And most people, this is what I think what ends up happening when most people do their fasting diets. They use the end of the day to eat everything they can,
right?
And they'll spend all day not eating food. And they'll go home at night and eat 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 calories.
Right.
And that's their refeed for the day. And as we were saying, the body's a smart piece of machinery.
Right.
So if I'm going to dump a ton of it at the end of the day, it just makes sense that the body, because we said body fat is your savings.
Right.
So it makes sense that we're going to save it.
Of course.
And then, the flip side, you've got the keto diets. Ketos are great to lose weight rapidly. But when you lose weight rapidly, Ed, what happens?
Well, it's not that. Yeah, you start. The difference is that the keto. It's you're burning. You're supposed to be burning body fat instead of carbohydrates for.
Yes.
For energy.
Yes.
That's what the whole thing of the keto diet is. The thing is, it's most of the time the problem most people have in practice is that it's not sustainable.
Yes.
Eventually, you're going to have a carb,
and when you have,
you're going to have some sugar,
and carbs absorb water.
Right.
So when you're keto, you're not holding that much water. You're not retaining that much water. And I think another thing that people make when they do keto is they dump table salt.
Right.
They dump salt, which is going to help your body absorb water. So now the carbohydrates would help your body absorb water. You drop those, and all of a sudden you have a rebound effect, and you're 20, 40 pounds heavier. But it's a lot of it's water. The other one, Jenny Craig was a big thing back in the day. And you had calorie restricted meals.
Right.
But once again, when you calorie restrict yourself so drastically.
Yeah, you'll lose the weight, but and as soon as you refeed, like you said, you balloon back up and might even pass where you were before.
And because now you've done it to a calorie deficit. So now the body's, especially if you, it's going to sound like two grumpy old men, especially if you're not doing some type of resistance training.
Right.
Telling your body you need muscle. So when the body does when you give it the refeed and you give it back the calories that it's used to having daily, it's going to store it again.
Right.
Because you didn't change your habits.
And that's, again, like we talked briefly about in the last podcast, it has to be a lifestyle change. It can't just be a fad diet thing here and there. I think they can all be done successfully, but they all have what you want to make. When you pick one of these, I hate to call them fad diets or diets, is you have to make sure that it's sustainable, that it's something that you're going to sustain for a period of time to affect the weight loss that you want or require.
Yes.
And then after that, then there has to be a maintenance phase. You have to learn how to maintenance it.
Yes.
And it's not always going to be, you can go keto to drop 60 pounds. And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily keto that's going to maintain that weight loss.
It's a change. It's a habit.
You have to change your lifestyle, your habits.
Like we said on the last one, it's kind of like somebody who gets the stomach tuck and gets their stomach tied up, and they don't change their eating habits. The only thing your body's eating is your lean tissue.
Right.
And sooner or later, you have to go back to eating. And, the other one that I see a lot of people do is they do the liquid diet.
Yeah.
Once again, your body is going to consume itself. And you can't live like that forever.
Yeah, you're going to starve yourself into a state of malnourishment.
Hair's going to fall out, teeth going to fall out. You're going to have organ failure. There's a lot of things that go on. So, like we were saying at the beginning, I don't know if you guys were there on in the beginning. We were beginning of the podcast. We were talking about losing 1 to 2 pounds a week is great, and that's what people get confused on.
Right?
Is it's not about how much weight you lose rapidly. It's about how much weight you lose successfully,
Consistently, successfully.
Yes.
Maintaining it over a period of time. And problem isn't, the hard part isn't, to me, losing it, it's keeping it off.
Bingo. Because when you go to a diet, you're altering the way you want to eat.
Right. And
sooner or later, the biggest addictive drug there is.
Sooner or later, you're going to have, okay, so here's the pattern. Oh, I'm going to lose this for the summer and stuff. Okay, so now let's say you lost 30 pounds that you want to lose for summer. You're looking great. So now you're feeling great about yourself. So now, okay, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go to this. I've got these weddings I need to go to. I've got these parties. And then what happens at these weddings and parties? You're eating, you're drinking,
yes.
You're doing this, and you forget about what you needed to do to maintain that. And yeah, you're gonna put on weight again.
And because the body's a smart piece of machinery,
right?
It's going to want to store it again.
Right.
I mean, you look at I don't want to call out any celebrities, but there's so many celebrities that have done the Jenny Craig diet.
Right.
Big, little, big, little, big, little, big, little, stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't do anything to change their lifestyle. So I guess what we're getting at is, rather than going to a diet, learn to eat foods that you like. Like we were saying last week, if you make it in the kitchen and it's something you like, you'll want to eat it.
Exactly.
Eat healthy food, eat whole foods. Because like you said, if I go keto, sooner or later, I'm going to want to have a pizza.
Right.
That's just, I hadn't had pizza in like 2 years. I've been having pizza every Sunday. Just once it gets in your mouth, it's like,
right.
But I maintain a healthy lifestyle. So when I have that, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And it's just the way it works. So losing 1 to 2 pounds, just remember, when you're losing weight, losing 1 to 2 pounds are great. I know you read these stories, and people call them success stories, and they start adding, you got these celebrities that add in the diet aids.
Mm-hmm. Right
now, the king of the world is Ozempic and the semaglutides and the GHR LPs. Right. And they take in the problem when you take the semaglutides and the Wegovys and the Ozempics, when you take these at a very high amount, it causes stomach paralysis. Mm-hmm. It takes away your appetite. You don't want to eat. And people, just like the stuff, what is that? I keep wanting to say tummy tuck, but it's not a tummy tuck. Bariatric surgery.
Bariatric surgery.
Just like with bariatric surgery, it's the same difference. You're just restricting the amount of food you're going to eat. So of course you're going to lose weight, but now you're doing it with this.
Now you're doing chemically.
Yes, and it blocks your body's ability to the processed sugar and all that stuff. It's scientific. I don't want to go into all that, but now it's just basically a peptide version of a bariatric surgery. So you're losing weight. But you're not, most people, celebrities and all these people, they're not doing any sort of resistance training. So they're not keeping their living tissue. The body doesn't need living tissue. Right. You're taking it a large amount. You're taking the large amount. You're causing the stomach paralysis. You're not able to pass. You're not able to pass stool. You're not hungry. You lose your appetite. What was the big fad a couple, 10, 20 years ago, the HCG diet. Mm-hmm. You take the HCG and you live on 500 calories a day.
Same thing. You're just tricking your body into doing something that you're stopping a bodily function so that it incurs weight loss.
Now,
the thing is, so what happens when you take the drug away?
Bingo. Just like bariatric surgery. What happens when you stomach re-expands?
Body needs to get to working naturally how it was before. Yeah. And, if you didn't change, and that's fine, but if you didn't change any habits, you're going to go back right to where you started.
It's the drug that's doing the work. You're not doing the work. And sooner or later, you have to get off the drug. Now, so the Ozempics and the semaglutides, I think they're fabulous products, but I think they should be microdosed. I think they should be microdosed, and you got to make sure that you're doing some sort of resistance training so your body knows it needs to keep muscle. I guess the other side of the diets, trying to lose 10, 20 pounds a week. Where people just want to lose this vast amount. You didn't get there overnight. You're not going to get rid of it overnight.
No.
The more diligent I don't want to say slower because it discourages people, but
consistent
to take it. The more you learn, the more you put in work, and you realize, okay, this is what it is. The more it becomes something that's sustainable.
I think it's the reality is way different than the fantasy they portray with the drugs,
the CGI,
all that stuff. It's reality is you're going to have to work at it.
Yes.
It takes some willpower.
Yes.
It takes some commitment, and it takes doing things sometimes when you don't want to do them.
Yes.
And that's the problem. We unfortunately live in a Western society. We live in I want it now. I want it now.
The magic pill.
Exactly.
And
there's got to be a magic pill. There's got to be at the end of the day, if you just take a step back, take a little bit of stock into yourself and say, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing what is my part in this?
Mm-hmm.
And what do I need to change?
Mm-hmm.
And start with that. And then now, I mean, I'm not completely opposed to them, but it's like now.
I think it's great when it's microdosed.
Right.
I saw a crazy thing the other day. Like I started following this lady, Linda. I forget her last name, but Lynda. We talked about her on the Linda Moore. She's renowned with the semaglutides. I didn't know you weren't supposed to drink wine with it.
I'm not that well versed.
Yes, I was just like, ooh. I wonder if the doctors are telling it. I mean, I don't remember the exact reason why, but she's like, you don't drink wine with it. Right. And we're still, things like this, people are still learning on how they work.
Right.
Continue what you were saying, Ed. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it just, again, if you don't change your behaviors, initially you have to step back and take account of, okay, why am I putting on weight? Why I can't lose it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go back and chart your food. Just honestly chart your food. Don't cheat. Just chart. You're like, wow. And most of the time, most humans, we undereat, but we undereat with garbage food. It's like, it's like, no, you're not,
or better,
you're not overweight because you're eating too much. You're just not eating enough good food.
Or I'm going to go back to this wine.
Now, real food, not processed.
I'm going to go back to the wine thing. I'm on a diet, but I'm still going to go out on Saturday night and tie one off. I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to go tie it off, and I'm going to drink the stuff that my body has no idea what to do with.
Right.
So why am I not losing fat? The body has no idea what to do with this.
Right.
It just this consistency. You don't have to. It's not.
You don't have to be a hermit or
no cloud. You don't have to be not have fun.
Right. You can go out into dinner and have a glass of wine.
Yes. You can have a mixed drink.
Not every night.
Yes.
Not every night.
Yes.
On the weekends, stay consistent, and then one day out of the week, I'm gonna have a couple of drinks. Okay, but it's when you go out every weekend and you drink to pass out, or when you drink to just be intoxicated, to just be drunk.
Monday through Friday, you're keto and living on shakes and protein bars.
Friday, Saturday, you're tying one on every night. It's like that's
getting carried off the bar by your girlfriend. It doesn't
matter how much you count your calories during the week. You're acting extra empty calories just in one evening. You can have so many extra empty calories that you ruined your week.
Just a glass this big can be 2,000 calories, just depending on how it's mixed.
Right.
And it just depends on what your drink is. Man, you don't even want to know how much is in a margarita.
Right.
Like, especially
just to the sugar.
Yes.
Just because of the sugar. Your body already converts alcohol into